Hey everybody, welcome in this new episode of Juno Live. Yeah, it seems we are live, where we continue to build our blogging platform, right? So let's do it, right? As always, if you have a question along the way, just ping me, whatever it's now or after the chat. So let me close a bit like my zillion of window. I was working on the next version of Juno, by the way, and yeah, I'm not sure I will manage to finish until next week, but hopefully next or 2 weeks we will have like a Juno live where I show all the new features, because it's gonna be quite something in terms of release workflow. Let's call it like that. It's gonna be cool. All right, so let's start that. I have to say it feels a bit weird because I'm at home today and like talking alone. Kind of feel like strange, but yeah. Anyway, so I think I work a bit on the project Saturday or Sunday or something like that, and basically I resolved all the to-do I have left in the previous video chat or video live or whatever, and this way we can continue to work out on our flow, right? So we were there, right? Here it's syncing, all right. So we had the publish, and we can set a title, the description, a slug. The slug being the path name where the blog post will be published, right? And we had the publish service. We did that last week, where when we publish, we update the metadata of the post by setting that we want to submit it and we want to save all this information, and we also want to upload the HTML that we are going today to package and ship. And here is something wrong that I noticed now, is we want to trigger things when the metadata are ready. So like, because we're gonna trigger like a backend function, so we want that everything is ready when we call the backend function. And if I keep like that, I don't know if I get the metadata or just the upload. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that sequentially. There is like a promise something sequentially. I don't know. I should check that. Like to spare 2 lines like this. This way, when we reach this point, we know that the upload of the HTML has worked out. All right. Now, we want to do stuff on the backend. So if we want to do stuff on the backend, we need serverless function, right? All right, so is that well documented? That's a good question. So yeah, kind of. All right, so technically I know I can do more stuff with Rust because, so we can do serverless function in Rust and in TypeScript on Juno. And I know that it's no problem and that I can do everything with Rust, because TypeScript is fairly new and is still kind of beta-ish, alpha-ish. And on the other side, this call is about building with Juno and improving Juno, but also at the end, if people gonna fork the blog post, they might want the easiest path, and the easiest path is to not have to install cargo if you are a web developer. even though, as I said, the release pipeline will be improved soon. Yeah, let's go with TypeScript. I think it's a good example. So I eject and we want to use TypeScript, and I want to install the function. Yeah, my laptop is not like, all right. So if we have a look, I will commit this sequential publish data, and here we're gonna init serverless function. So what do we get? We get an index.html that has the default things that we're gonna clean up, and here, why is it complaining? Imports on user set are only used as type. Oh, you see, there is a typo here. Oh, all right, so let me just 2 seconds to fix that in the CLI, otherwise I will forget about it. No, here, there, we need type, right? All right, so fix template. Yeah, I mean, fix function template missing type, right? This way it will be fixed in the next version of the CLI, which is great, right? So let's go back to our work. So you see here we have all the function. Okay, so init serverless function. Okay. Great. So now let's start coding. So we have all those functions, but the one that we care about is this one, right? Is when we update the metadata, so that when this kicks in, we want to do stuff in the backend. And this one is on set doc. So what we're gonna do is in our function, I will delete everything except the onset doc, right? All right. And then we want to do something only when the metadata change, right? So nice. We go to blah 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 blah. Where is that? I'm not sure if I put that in TypeScript. No, it's in the guide. Yeah. So I'm looking to triggered by hooks, define a setter. Yes, this code generate, super. Now let's create a hook, blah blah blah. Yes, assertion, validation. Ah, here. So technically I can just drop a switch and say, okay, if my collection is metadata, then this and that. But there is this pattern that I really like, where I can define a const with the collection and then create a record for those collections. And then the cool stuff is in the run, we can kind of declare, or we can even put that outside, but yeah, I keep it scoped. So basically here, run function is probably a type, onSetDoc is probably a type. So onSetDoc run. So then here we can have, you see, this, and have the function that is called, which is really nice. So here let's create we're gonna publish service, right? Let's call it like that. And here we're gonna create publish blog post, or create blog post, create or update blog post, and here we're just gonna put async for now, and here we're gonna add this function. And you see, right, what collection is assigned a value but only used as type. Yeah, so I'm gonna add a suppress here. All right, and this makes the code really nice, because then every time we add a new collection, we can just declare const collection and then the function that is used. So you find that in the guide here, handling multiple collection. Anyway, so but here what I forgot. That's the nice part. The constant is used here as well. That way you really don't repeat the keyword metadata except here, which is kind of nice. All right, so when the metadata is updated, we want to do something. So onSetDoc context. So here we're gonna get the onSetDoc context, which is a type, right? Okay, and then when we get the onSetDoc content, we want to deserialize it to get the value. So what we're gonna do is that. All right, so we decode the data and we're gonna get onSetDoc is data. All right. We want the metadata which is of type post metadata, right? Post metadata, those data. Wow, beautiful. So here we do this, and here what do we have? After, right? Dot data. Okay. Here we're gonna have the post data. Just gonna print that out. All right. Great. Now we maybe want to check out this, right? So I will build this. All right, and here it's building, and it should live reload the backend. Maybe not. Nice. Takes a bit of time because it's like a two-step, like it builds the JavaScript, then the JavaScript is packaged into a WASM, and then the WASM is upgraded. So it's yeah, it's not the fastest, but it does the job. So now if we here type something, You see, it works, right? Here we get the new content with the description. That's the title, that's the description. But here, if I do that, I think I won't have it because we don't update the title or the description. All right. Cool. So one thing that I was thinking when we were doing that is we are using Zod to declare the post metadata. Therefore, what we can do is the following. We can create an assert. Wait, where is that? Oh la la. Oh la la. Why is it so slow? I hope the stream doesn't lag too much. Wow. Oula. Okay, so let me shut down everything here, and we're gonna try to get some RAM back because everything seems really like dead. My machine is also super warm right now. All right, so is it better? All right, so let's go back to where we were, and I need more RAM. All right, so I was saying that it would be nice to have an assertion because we are using Zod after all. So let's create an assertion. In the main serverless function here, if WebStorm is coming back, all right. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna add the collection here, and we are going to add a right, and wow, my machine is dying, I think. Alright, so this should be good, this should be good, it's just WebStorm that is incorrect. And here we're gonna do, I think, the same for that. So, except that's not gonna be run function, is it? Assert function, maybe? So, here we have run, yes, it's assert function. Voila. All right, and here we have, oh no, that's probably incorrect, so that's probably an assert doc collection, I think. Ah no, it's just because I call it this that way. All right, so let's call it, oh no, it's fine. All right, and here that's wrong, then that's gonna be, I guess it's assert set doc context probably. So there, right, and here that should not be an async function, but that should be an assert set doc synchronous function. Hoopla. And assert post. Yeah, why not? And here we can call it like this, and then we can do the same as we did here, except that it's not a wait, right? So this way, when a post is set, there will be an assertion, and here we're gonna use Zod. All right, so shall I try to start Docker again? All right. Still running, still running. So here we're gonna build in the meantime. All right. Do it again, just in case. But I think he has a bit trouble starting up. Ooh, nice. I don't know if it will work, or yeah, you see, like everything seems corrupted. My machine is cracking everywhere. I don't think, I'm not sure this will still work. Yeah, you see, like the whole state is corrupted, like my machine went banana. Wow, so lovely. So that means that we have to I will ignore target first. And right, and here we're just gonna commit that init serverless function, and I will let's start with a new state. So stop. So here I should have Skylab. Yeah. So let's delete this one. And while I'm here, I will do a bit of cleanup. And here I will did this. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's start with a fresh image. My machine is so warm. It's like having just the hands on it. I feel like it's like 50 degrees. Come on. All right, so here let's start with a brand new tab. Wait for everything. The console is deployed, so I don't know if this is mounted already. Not yet. All right, so here, that's correct because we don't have yet created that satellite for our project. So here we're gonna create it, and because it's deterministic, the first satellites which will be created will have this ID, I guess. Yeah, you see. So here, if I reload, we are good, but it will not work because it says content collection content not found in the data store. And speaking of in the future, before we finish this project, I want to have the configuration probably within the config file. This one, anyone that fork the repo will don't have to create those stuff. So here, and we said, what do we say? Controller, right? If I remember correctly. And is there another collection? We have content in the data store, is it? Is that right? Yeah. Metadata. Alright, and now if we reload, we should have another error because it says, but you are not a controller, and that's what we want, because we want this one here to be a read-write controller, which gonna be renamed to access key in the next version. That's another story. Yeah. All right. So now we are all right. So let's build. Right. kind of interesting. So where did we stand? We had the assertion here. So while it's redeploying, let's do stuff. So we said that where are those post metadata? It's a bit dumb to call that Juno when it's just post inside, so we can probably rename that. What the fuck? Right. And what? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what WebStorm is doing there. I had that the whole day, like it just do stuff for no reason. Right. So we want to use this, right? So to go back to where we stand, what we can do is here we can just do a parse of the data that we are decoding that are potentially of type post meta schema. Potentially post metadata, right? Okay, because if the schema does not match, that will throw an error, and if it throws an error, then the assertion failed. Why is it? I doubt that's required. What? Yeah, my machine makes absolutely no sense. That's a schema. Right. But when we are here, yeah, we see that the assertion is running. Every time something is changed, we see that the assertion kicks in. The question is why WebStorm is complaining here, which really makes me wonder what's happening. Ah, my God. You see that WebStorm does not import it, but does not validate it, so that's annoying. We need the same import here, but for decode. Oh, come on, there. So then we have the data. And here it's just like, just on crack. Here we can remove this. So we have this, we have this, we have that, we have this, and here that's totally incorrect. So, I'm sorry. All right, so all right, so back to our publish. Once we reach this post, we have the metadata and the HTML, and look at that. Man, it's really hard to work with that tool. So first of all is status. If the status is not submitted, here at this point we don't want to do anything. What's the other status again? Published. Oh, yeah. So if it's submitted, we want to retrieve the HTML content, right? So I'm not even sure that that is already implemented. That's a good point. So, thanks for asking. So we are working on making, so that's a blog post editor that anyone can fork, and we are working on the publication so that when people have written their own blog post, that they can go and then publish, and then it will be, for example, here it's hello, so then when it's published on their platform, it's going to be available at that address. Yeah, so let's check the documentation. So we, interesting. So we have get asset handler, get asset store. So this one will allow us to retrieve the asset that is uploaded. And we have the get content chunk store, which allow us to retrieve the blob. So that's what we need. So basically, now when I click here, we want to find the asset, get its HTML content, and build the blog post page, publish the blog post page, right? So basically what we want to do is we get the asset, we get the HTML, we put everything together, and then we put that available on the web. So what I wanted to check is here I have rather like a large test suite where we can find examples of this. Man, you cannot work with JetBrains product when it's warm. It's in fixture, my bad. All right, you see, we want to do that. We want to get the asset, we want to get the encoding, and then the chunks, which is nice. All right, so let's do that. When we publish here, we upload the HTML with the key, file name is the key, and the full path become /content/key.html. So first we need this collection. All right, and now that we have it, we're gonna do the same thing as here. So let's start like that. Right, so in our publish process here, we're gonna have a const like get asset, let's call it like that. Right, right, so do we want to pass everything? Yeah. For the caller, we are the function, so we can say we are the admin, and the admin is ID. See here, and we want from the collection content, we have seen that, that's the collection that we just created, and we want a full path that is the one equals here, which is this one. So technically I could create a utils that would be cleaner. That way the front end and the back end can share the same utils, right? So do create utils for building full path. And here we need the key, so here, okay, great. Then we're gonna implement some assertion. So that's a check. Technically we can log, but since every error has automatic logged, so that's fine. And here we're gonna search for identities. So identities, because when you can upload, for example, gzip and so on, they all have a different types. And here we are interested in identity, which is the one that we upload without any encoding. Right, and here, no, it's actually plural. Right, and that would be the code to get the chunks, but it's a blob, so what does it return? Okay, so technically I think we can concatenate everything to get one single blob. Is that possible? I think so. So So here that's gonna be, what did I do? That was wrong, so let me delete this one and create a new one. Just, is it unstable? Yeah, it's unstable, right? All right, so where was I? Chunk index. Okay, so we can do something like const chunks equals encoding dot map, and actually we can even do a reducer, I guess. And so when we get the encoding, so for each of those, we want to return this. Encoding will be the one. What did I do? Oh no, sorry. I'm a bit like I don't know what I'm doing. Let's do more simple. Chunks blob, and I can always beautiful that later. And we do encodings dot for each encoding. And here we're just gonna do a const, and here we're gonna take e, and here we're gonna do int e, and here we're gonna e plus, we're gonna have this like that, and here we're gonna have chunks dot push chunk. Const. Here, why does it? Okay, no, I get it. Oh la la. So it's because that's a tuple and the second argument is the asset, I guess, right? So this returns a tuple and we want this one. So why is it complaining? That's why here we want encoding one. Oh, this tuple is so confusing. But that's just one chunk. Wait. Oh, la 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 la. All right. Okay. Here we have blob or undefined. So I will review that because that's not really clean. But yeah. And this is a news. So Okay, so here that's just a console, blah blah. So here I will just, let's parse it. I'm not sure that will work, honestly. I'm not sure what's going to have maybe some issue here, but let's see what we're gonna have here. It's because I think that this should not be inlined. That's the reason. All right, so yeah, the tuple nightmare. Wow. So we want a single blob, I guess. So we don't want an array. All right, and this will definitely oh, it's too warm to think. All right. So we have the chunk, and can we just reduce that? Will that work? Yeah, there is something off in my logic. Because we want a blob which is it's the term that is confusing. It's a unit with unit 8 array. Can we just concatenate? Does that work? Like, and can I just do that? Or does it complain? Okay, so that's what I want to do, right? Even though that's also an array. So united array. It's really hard to debug when you have the okay, so let's do more simple. So const nb is equal array unit to array of number, okay, with the check. So then here I got an array of number, and here we're gonna do an array of number. So that's an array of number, that's an array of number, and it's not tac. So const concatenate chunks, just I'm a bit, and here we want this. So we got an array of number, and here we're gonna do array of number 2. Right. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I should correct when I'm gonna be offline with a laptop that is not going leak on memory. But yeah, let's have a try. Might not work at all. Yeah, particularly not gonna work if I don't call the function. So Okay, rebuild one more time. So technically, it should automatically kick in once it's deployed, because I think that there is like kind of like a build deployment queue, if I remember correctly. Oh là là. I mean, if even opening GitHub is slow, let you figure out how powerful this machine is. Come on, seriously. It's kind of crazy. Let's try to get a bit of processor and RAM back by closing my editors. But why is WebStorm using like 2 GB of memory? And here, why still? Gonna close Firefox as well. Fuck me. 3 minutes. And when we started, it was 19 seconds. I mean, come, seriously. It's like, I don't know, this machine is about to explode. Yeah, it's most probably something with the heat of the laptop. Is really warm, and my flat is also warm. But since I'm in the call, I can go and open the window and this kind of things. So yeah, but was to note that the Docker image is running like a full local replica, and one of the things I will do in the next week is hopefully modify it to use Pocket IC, and I hope that it becomes also a bit lighter and therefore a bit more prone of this kind of situation to work a bit better, hopefully. Right. Honestly, I don't know if anything will work at this point, but let's give it a try, right? So here it processed, and here we just have the to do because it was one build missing for the publish, but that's not a problem. We can publish again. You see, it was already 2 minutes faster. All right, so let's try again. We have it. It worked out. Woohoo! So yeah, it's a bit. I'm not sure the loop works because a payload of a chunk is 1,9, and in any case we are currently saving the document. When I edit, I save it to the data store, which is also limited to 1.9. So basically in the current setup I will always have just one chunk. So yeah, I might as well skip doing the loop here and just saying, let's get the first chunk, and that will be also a bit more performant. But see, it's nice, like so here it's saved, and there if I publish, we got the preview, and here it will build, and then in our serverless function we should be able to get that HTML back. You see, we have it. Right, so I think we're gonna let's try to ask GPT-5 in a canister. Yeah, you are already way in advance of what I can do. When it comes to this Papyrus, I will work a bit to move forward, and then we can do more stuff. And the other things that I'm working on, again, I will try to show you that next week. I'm building something where basically my idea is that we should have a way to not build and have like CI that does it without compromising on control and this kind of thing, and integrate everything in the console UI. So yeah, gonna be great. Cool. So thanks for having joined the call. It was a bit bumpy due to the lack of RAM and this kind of things, but I hope it was still interesting. And yeah, enjoy your week and see you next time. Bye bye.